Hello, guys. Welcome to the eighth episode of this series, Programming with Solidity for Absolute Beginners. In this episode, we are going to look at functions. Now, functions are integral aspect of writing a program or writing a smart contract. So, a function is basically a group of code that can be reused anywhere within the program. So functions help us to segment our code or write the code in modules so that we can reuse it any part of our program. And at the technical level, or let me say the runtime level, it saves a lot of memory and decrease the runtime of the program, which is the ultimate goal of writing a smart contract. So with the help of a function, a program can be divided into smaller pieces or segments for better understanding and also managing. Now, um, this is the general formula for writing functions in Solidity. Now, we start with the function keyword. Let's say function, then we give the function name, right? So after the function keyword, we give the function name. Then the function could have a parameter, and the parameter could be more than one, right? So we can say parameter list, and it's separated by a comma. Now, once you have your parameter, you need to define the scope, right? Whether it should be public or private or however you want it, right? So we give the scope of the function. Then whether the function should be a void function or a function with a return. So we can say return over here is supposed to be returns, not returns, right? Then the return type should also be specified. So we say return type. I prefer to use camel casing. So return type. Then also after that we what give the block of code what the function should do. So let me put block of code here. Block of code. So this is a basic formula for writing functions in Solidity. Okay, so I'll comment this out so that we can look at our first function. Now before that, I would like to create um our state variable. So we first of all have to define our contract. So contract, then we call it our function. We call this contract our function. Now I'll define a state variable. So this state variable, I'll give it a uint of 256. Right? I'll call it um greetings. Okay, greetings. Now greetings, then it's supposed to be public, right? So I'll put the scope here. I'll make it public over here. Now I want to access this state variable using a function. So I'll give a comment here, say that get get data or variable get data using get data using function, right? Using the function we want to create beneath. All right. So we follow the formula we've defined here. So first of all, we need the function keyword like this. Now this function we call it get data, or let's say yeah get data. Then we give our parameters. Okay. Now with this function, we will not change anything. So we are going to just get the information. There's no need for parameters. Then the scope we make it public, right? We make it public. Then view, public view. Then returns. Here should always be returns, not return, right? And the return type should be a uint 256, right? As the state variable we want to get. All right. So after that, what we do is that we will return. Now this return is this return. Okay. This return is just to return. Now I'll return greetings. Okay, like this, right? Now if I compile this function, auto compile is working good. Then I go to deploy. Then once I deploy this contract here, I could check. Now if I go to, so this is the function get data and greeting. So this is the greeting function. Once I click get data, I'll have 0. Once I have greetings to, I'll have 0 over here, right? Good. Now if I remove this public guy from this, then i'll delete I'll delete this, then deploy again. Then let's see what we'll get. Now I don't have um the greetings anymore because the public key has been removed. Then I have only the greetings here. So if I set the value, I could get the value from there. Now let's write another function. This function to update the state variable, right? We want to update the state variable. So what I'll do is that I'll say function, we follow the same formula, function, then I'll call this update data, right? Update data. Now this time we will accept a parameter. So we say uint 25256. Then we call it underscore greetings. It should be different from the state variable. So underscore greetings. Then we make it public, right? Public. Then there won't be any view. So what we do is I want to update the state variable. So we call greetings, right, equal to underscore greetings this way. Then uh what I can do is I'll clear this, deploy it again. Then we have two function update data, then get data. So once you expand this, I'm supposed to get put a value here, let's say 56, then transact. Then once I check the logs, I could get the details. So once I get this, I get 56, right? Good. So this one set, this one we get, this function is getting the value of the state variable, and this one is updating it, right? Good. So I'll create another two function, and I'll call them add. So I'll call it function. I'll call the function keyword, then add numbers, right? So add numbers. Then we have uint 256. Then I'll call this um, underscore I, right? Then I have another uint 256. Then I'll call this underscore j, right? So what I'll do is that I'll make it public, then I'll make it view, right? Then it will returns, right? Because we want to make calculation, it should have a return. So the type should be uh uint, uint, like this. Now what we could do is that we could make a calculation here. Now we have to define a new variable which is supposed to be the same as the one we specify 256. Then we call this variable sum. So sum equal to underscore I plus underscore j, right? Good. So underscore I, then underscore j. Then we return sum, like this. Okay, we return sum. Now what we need to do is that we need to get rid of this view from it. So view, then I'll clear this guy, then deploy it again. So let me get rid of these guys. Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of these guys. So deploy again. have add numbers. So let me expand. I have 5, then 6. So I expect 11, right? Good. So if I expand these, if I expand, so I expect 7. So I have 5, sorry, 11. 5 plus 6, then I'll have 11 over here, right? Good. So that's how to write add. So we can actually do one for subtract. All right. So that is function at the basic level. We look at functions as we keep going. So thank you.